Hi, I'm Marlo from Wild Food UK, and I've been talked into wearing a hat for this video because I'm just going to do an update or an upgrade, I suppose, to a video I did a couple of years ago that was quite popular on how to make elderflower champagne the really easy way. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to make 20 litres of elderflower champagne, or at least I'm going to get it going and show you everything that goes in there, and then I'm just going to quickly run through the rest of the process because the rest of the process is very easy. So first of all, down here I've got my bucket with 20 litres of water in it for 20 litres of elderflower champagne. That's the first thing that you need. The next thing you need is the juice and the zest of 10 lemons, and I've got these 10 lemons left over here which I've grated to get the zest, and I've used my juicer to get the juice. Now that's easily the most tedious part of making the easy elderflower champagne. It takes a little while and you normally skin a knuckle, but anyway, the end product is worth it. So along with my 10 lemons, zest and juice, I've got 2 kilos of sugar, just normal sugar, and luckily enough, just so you know, a little tip, 2 kilos of sugar works out to roughly what it says as 2 litres on most jugs, so a little bit more for 2 kilos of sugar, so that's what's in there. And then for my 20 litres of elderflower champagne, I've got 20 full elderflower heads. Now that's what I consider to be about the right size for one elderflower head. So sometimes you get littler ones which are looking quite good. That one there is quite small. That's kind of half of a head, so I'd use 2 of those. And all in all, I've got 20 of those there. And then I've got some white wine vinegar. So my bucket, my 20 litres of water, is all sterilised. Everything here has been sterilised. That's something you do want to do first. Get some Milton or some sterilising powder. What I did was fill this bucket up with warm water and the sterilising powder, and then I just put all the utensils I was going to use into it and then tipped it away and let it dry. As soon as it's dry, all of that sort of bleachy type smell goes, and everything you've got is sterile. So anyway, 20 litres of sterilised water. That's my zest of my 10 lemons. Just going to put that in. And here's my juice and a few pips and a little bit of pith that's gone in there of those 10 lemons. And then 2 kilos of sugar. Oops. Little spillage, but no worries. And then my white wine vinegar. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and a little bit more, just because this isn't a very big tablespoon, but sort of 4.5 to 5 tablespoons of white wine vinegar is what's gone in there. And then, because we've got that acidity in there, and it's quite warm at the moment, we're having a little hot spell up in Hereford, so I haven't melted the sugar, which you can do if you want to. It'll help if it's cold, because if you put a couple of litres of water into a pan and just get the sugar going so it melts, but that gets it started a little bit quicker. Because it's so warm at the moment here, all I'm going to do with that acidity and the warmth in there, we're having a little spell of 20-degree plus days, which is nice. Give that a stir, get all the sugar moving, and most of it will dissolve, and then certainly over the next few days it will totally dissolve, but if it gets really cold I'll probably just give it another stir to make sure that it's all dissolved by the end. Right, so now my elderflower heads, all you want to do is completely submerge the flowers, trying to sort of leave as much of the stem out as you can. The stem doesn't add anything to the drink apart from a little bit of bitterness, so you can spend quite a long time if you want to forking all the elderflowers off of the stems, but this is the easy, quick elderflower champagne that I promised you. So just submerging all the flowers. One. There we go. A nice long wooden spoon, and you can see most of the stems are sticking up out of the water. Now the stems and the rest of the tree actually contain some glycosides that really aren't good for you, so you certainly don't want to eat any of the rest of the tree. Even the berries contain those glycosides, so I wouldn't eat more than a little handful of those either, but I've left as much of the stem out of the mixture as possible, and then we do, let's get a nice clean, reasonably lint-free tea towel and put it over. See, there's my mushroomy tea towel, which I like so much. Now I'm just going to quickly run through the rest of the process, because that's it. You know, for your preparation, the preparation is key. It took me about 20 minutes to pick the elderflower heads, and you know, the sterilising fluid was in there for about 20 minutes as well. So grating those lemons and juicing them was, like I say, a little bit of a chore, but I'd say probably about half an hour's prep. Then you put it all in a bucket, just like that. Now here, with my other nice tea towel, this one's got one of my other favourite things on it there. Here's some that was done about 2 days ago. You can see there's some lemon carcasses in there. I quite often do that. It really doesn't make much difference, but you can also see just tiny little filaments of mould starting to appear on and around the top of our elderflower champagne. Now that tells me it's very close to needing bottling. This is going to need to sit for another maybe day, possibly 2. And then what you do is you sterilise every utensil that you're going to use and scoop out everything off the top. The next thing I do is I've got my lovely big sieve here and some muslin, and I've quadrupled this. I've folded it in 4. And I would have another container ready, and then spoon out, that would take quite a while. Get a jug and pour out through this sieve, just to get rid of most of the rest of the big stuff, into another bucket. And then what we do is we get some plastic bottles. Now I know we shouldn't be using plastic bottles so much anymore, but there's a safety reason that I'm advising you to use plastic bottles at the moment, because they are, or the mixture can become quite explosive, and we've had glass bottles break. The plastic bottles can also pop because of the amount of fizz that you end up with in your elderflower champagne, but that's a lot less dangerous than glass flying everywhere. So we use plastic bottles, and the easy way, or the best way we've found of doing it, is to go to any supermarket and buy their still table water bottles, because what you do then is you empty out the table water into your next bucket for your next lot of elderflower champagne. The inside of the bottle is naturally already sterilised, so you don't have to go through the process of cleaning and sterilising your bottle. And then all you do is you get your muslin again and a funnel, and to double filter it, pour it again through the muslin into your bottle. And then what we do at the very end is we'll just make a little depression with our thumb in the bottle as we tighten up the lid. Now, what that gives you is a satisfying pop after a day or two when the bottle starts to get fizzy and it pops out the little plastic depression that you've put in there. So the end result should be that after a couple of weeks you'll have some nice fizzy elderflower champagne. And if you do it this way, it's going to last for you for 6 months, maybe 8 months. There are much more complicated recipes you can use, including citric acid and other processes, which will make your elderflower champagne last longer. But we do enough to keep us going through summer and autumn, and we use this recipe because there's nothing simpler that we know of. So if you want to find out more, go to www.wildfooduk. But now's your chance. It's early June to go out and get bottling some of this stuff yourself. Thank you.